We got another story I want to jump to.
Sure.
Nearly a third of Republicans still believe Trump will be reinstated this year. In poll released 2 days before conspiracy theorists predicted it would happen. Yeah, I can hear your reaction. They believe that, I think in 4 days. Was it the 15th? No. Okay, I'll say. I guess it's the 13th. I don't know when they think Trump is going to be brought back. But why? I'll put it this way, man. All of these claims require tremendous leaps of faith about what's happening with the government. And even if you believed everything, all the impropriety and all the accusations and all the conspiracies, you would have to then believe that there is an element of the government that is going to remove the current administration to allow a path for Trump to come back in and be reinstated in somehow. And I'm just thinking, like, to get from point A to where everyone is at with this reinstatement thing, it's like going from A to Z. Like, you got to go A, B, C, D. You got to go each and every step. And that is such a tremendous leap. I just don't understand how people can believe that's going to happen.
I mean, it's scary. And I think the people who are promulgating that are really either completely out of their depth, right? And that's the most generous interpretation of it. The other one is really malicious, where it's just like they're grifting, right? They're lying to persuade people to continue to give them money.
I'll tell you this: is it possible that Donald Trump is reinstated as president? Oh, it's physically possible. Yes, absolutely. It's in the realm of this existence. It's not like I'm saying he's going to grow wings and fly to the moon or anything like that. But it's just like, I would rather buy a lottery ticket. You know, like the likelihood is just astronomical. I'm a bit, I suppose the right word would be flabbergasted by people who would be willing to believe something so what tremendous could and would occur, because the amount of things that would have to happen for that process to play out is astronomical.
Yeah.
Astronomical.
Yeah, you could prove that he cheated. You could prove that Biden knowingly cheated, right? And the thing is, like, it would be like the Democrats thinking that they could prove.
You're saying hypothetically.
Hypothetically, right? Yes.
Because otherwise it sounds like you're saying.
No. I am saying the hypothetical world, the hypothetical world where even that Biden would be impeached over this stuff is a hypothetical where Biden literally knew about everything. I mean, it's a preposterous notion. Again, I do not believe that. It's a hypothetical. But even if you got there, like, it would be equivalent to Democrats in 2016 saying, if we prove Trump won colluded with Russia to win the election, then Hillary will be president, right? And you'd be like,
exactly,
no.
Dude. You know what blew my mind, because I was watching the symposium and they played this video. Because I'm not somebody who's going to be like, I won't watch that. No, I watched a lot of it. I obviously can't watch all because I'm working. But they claim that NASA's involved with, like, elements in China and the deep state and stuff. And I'm like, okay, slow down there. You cannot open your presentation by telling regular people who don't know what's going on that NASA is involved in some kind of plot, because you lose people, man. I'm sorry, it's out there. It's absolutely.
Did they mean the NSA? I'm trying to figure out a way to interpret that generously.
NASA.
Interesting.
NASA, the poorly funded organization,
Aeronautical and Space
that
Administration,
literally had to give up the space shuttle because they didn't have enough cash.
Don't you understand, Will, that behind the scene, that's a front. Everybody knows that NASA's actually the Illuminati.
Right. Well, they decided to actually stop going to space and start, like, secretly plotting coups against the elected government.
I should mention, I was curious about this number that you brought up, that a third of Republicans believe that Trump will be reinstated this year. So I just went and took a look at the data that they pulled this from. So the question they asked was, how likely do you think it is that former President Donald Trump will be reinstated as U.S. president this year, if at all? And out of 2,000 people surveyed, I think the percentage was 10% saying very likely, 9% saying somewhat likely, and then 13% saying not very likely, then not very likely at all, or don't know, or no opinion.
So it's not that a third believe he will be. It's that a total of a third lean towards maybe.
Yeah, or that it's possible, because not very likely doesn't sound like that person is saying, I think Trump is going to be reinstated within this year.
But so there's people think 10% says very likely, and then what's the next percentage?
Let me pull this back up. I just lost this. My apologies.
10% of Republicans or 10% of the public?
Oh, yeah, actually, let me double check. Because the survey, it looks as if the survey is only surveying Republicans. But let me take a moment to double check.
And I'll clarify this, too, because this was a garbage headline from Daily Mail. They go on to say 29% of Republicans believe Trump could be reinstated. Now, that's correct.
Yeah.
Trump could be reinstated.
In the abstract, following
Right.
the sort of path I laid out, where he becomes a Speaker of the
Yeah,
House.
reinstate
and
isn't the
managed
right
to
word.
physically-
No. Could Trump be reinstated?
No.
Well, no.
Yeah,
Look,
that, I actually agree.
yeah,
it is
reinstated
physically
would be the wrong
it is
word.
physically possible in this world for a Rube Goldberg like political operation to occur in which Trump becomes speaker because Nancy Pelosi steps down, and then there's a snap emergency election where they're like, we're going to vote for Trump, and for some reason progressives protest and say we'll vote for Trump too. It will never happen. But the point I'm making is that it might be a 0.0000001 chance it could happen, right? So it's depending on how you play the semantics of the
Yeah,
of
I
the
was
question.
saying like saying that it wouldn't be a reinstatement in that case. It would be like he would be the Speaker of the House that then is elevated.
He succeeded to the presidency.
A succession.
at that point.
Would he be then succeeded again? But
I just want.
Yeah,
No,
anyway.
go ahead.
I got it.
I want everybody listening to just imagine something right now. Okay, just imagine this. First, I want to say, I do not believe. I genuinely mean this. I have looked at a lot of the anomalies and a lot of the data. I believe there should be an investigation. I believe there should be audits. I think we need that to build confidence back for the American people and to help kind of resolve this extreme divide. But I want you to imagine something. It's August 14th. The Cyber Symposium has ended. At the very end of the symposium, Mike Lindell stands up without saying a word and presses enter on a keyboard, and documents appear on the screen. And all the journalists in attendance are like, I can't believe it. I work for the New York Times, and even I must admit it's true. And then they write fervently like, wow, Mike Lindell, oh, he's correct, and then all these things. And then all of a sudden, Biden is like seen in a plane, and he's flying to China, and Kamala Harris is like crossing the border to Canada, and they're like, what do we do? And then the Secret Service picks up Trump, and they drive in the White House. That's not going to happen.
no, no, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. It's not ever going to happen.
It sounds like
It'd be a cool movie. It'd be a really cool movie.
Yeah, it would be a great movie. Different. We have to change the names. It seems like
No one would know who it was about.
Right, yeah. it'd be secret.
I don't like Joe Biden. Okay, gas prices are going up. Joe Biden comes out and says he issues a warning on gas prices. It's his fault gas prices are going up, and the media is covering for him, saying it's not his fault. I just want to make sure everybody understands. I don't like that guy. Okay.
Yeah. Did we talk about today how he decided his administration requested that OPEC release more oil? Like we have oil in this country. We had a pipeline that was going to be built, that was under construction with lots of jobs already on the line.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
We'll get into that in a second.
Who shut that down?
I don't know.
Let's
what happened?
Joe Biden?
Probably the same guy who rigged the Dominion machines.
It seems like Dominion's getting out ahead on this one because they know, I can't say for sure, but the fact that they did stuff in secret, it's a Canadian corporation that, this corporation,
Canadian?
right? It's Canadian. It's from what I've learned, it's Canadian. And they don't want to get busted. They don't want to get attacked for it, so they're going on the offensive. That's what it sounds like. Does that make any sense to you? Will?
I mean, I think it. I don't think that's it at all. I think it's as simple as their $1 billion business has been decimated by what a lot of people said about them. Because think about it from the perspective of if you're offering election machines, you need to have a completely besmirched reputation. Otherwise, no one can hire you. Even if
that's a good point.
If other people are saying things about your machines that are false, if half the country believes them, then your business is dead. Which means that all the things that were said about Dominion crushed their business in a way that caused them hundreds of millions of dollars in damages.
I'll tell you this. First and foremost, I said we got to have open source. Either they free the code, like Ian often says. This is the one area where I agree, because we need to be able to see what those machines do, like flat out. My friend told me a story. My friend told me a story about some guy who got a speeding ticket from a radar gun.
Yeah.
And when he went to court, they said, we've got the evidence that shows you were speeding. And then he requested the court subpoena the source code for the radar gun. And he said to the judge, for all we know, it's a random number generator. And the judge agreed. The people who make the radar gun need to prove that their gun works this way and how, and show the code to the defense so the defense can understand the evidence presented against them. I think that if we're going to have elections, we got to have the ability to look at the code. That being said, based on everything that's happened, the accusations made against Dominion, I think Dominion should be purged from every single voting system, every county, just because, for one reason. Half the people in this country are skeptical, are concerned, are scared, have lost confidence. Now that is in line with defamation. That's bad for Dominion across the board. I'm looking at it this way. I want America to get better. I want people to come together. I want to get back to having policy arguments, not tribalist arguments. And that means there's got to be compromise. And if you've got the Trump supporter saying, we do not trust this company, then we say, we'll hire a different company. We'll make the source code open source, or we'll make it open source.
I totally agree, right? Elections, people need to have public faith in elections, and no one company's fate or like business success comes up over that. At the same time, like if that company was lied about in a way that caused them this damage and made it so nobody could use them for an election rigging machine, then they have a legit defamation claim against the people who lied about them.
Look, Mike Lindell's not a poor guy, and I think they're suing for like $1 billion. But they're squeezing blood out of a turnip. You know what I mean? Like they might get something, but
I mean they're also going after all the news companies too, right? They're suing Fox News, Newsmax, OAN. I mean, Fox has. I mean, that's where I think they're thinking the big money is. But you know, they're going to go after everybody.
You know what's crazy is, first, I'm going to say this too. Like, I don't like Dominion voting systems. I don't like. I'm learning about proprietary code in our public elections. I am not a fan of that. That's bad. As a company, I don't know. I will say that they're both based in Canada and Colorado, so
cool.
I don't know if you can call them just a Canadian company or whatever. But I don't know, man.
No, you have to. You have to free the software code because it could. You don't know that it's doing anything nefarious, but they could have like secret backdoor things that say if this vote tallies this, then flip to this. I mean, and you just don't know. That's the problem.
It's right. It's not even about saying that we believe there's a grand conspiracy and this company's involved. It's about saying we want to make sure your code works properly, and that in matters of public election, we can see how we need transparency in government. Is a good way to put it. I recognize there's confidential, there's secret, there's top secret and stuff. We get it. There's classified information. But when it comes to our elections, we should be able to look at the code and be like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
cool.
we don't need classified information about how our elections work.
Exactly.
Like, that's actually completely antithetical to what elections are designed to do, which is make people. The entire point of having elections is to make the losing side agree that they lost.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
like,
very true.
That's
a good point.
That's so that we have peaceful transitions of power.
Well,
right.
And the problem I have right now with everything that's going on with like Arizona and Wisconsin and stuff is that, you know, they're issuing subpoenas in Arizona and they're actually getting pushback. It's like just hand it over. Like, look, I get it. They're arguing it's a waste of time or whatever. It's a violation of security. And I'm like, dude, you need to convince people that you're claiming that they lost. You should, with a smile on your face, be like, here's the data, man. Have at it. Have a good day.
Yeah, or we just change the way our elections are run to make it so it should be to a point where it's stupid to even consider that the elections are fraudulent. Like if you were in Israel and you were like, oh, that election was rigged, every Israeli would just laugh at you, be like, it's just not possible. Like you can't, the way that the measures we have in place for election integrity, like what you have to do to be able to vote, what you have to do to verify that vote, the custody of the ballots, like it's so.
But you mean that literally, like Israel's system is super secure?
Super secure, right? Like they don't use electronic machines, right? Like we don't need to use them. Like that said, not using them will be bad for all these companies' businesses, but we don't need to use them.
That's one of the things one of the guys at the symposium said, we got to vote Amish. No electricity.
I don't necessarily agree with that either, because if you hand someone a stack of papers and then you trust them to go count it, they don't have to. They can count it any way they want.
Well,
so
you have, I would imagine, a number of different people verifying that they counted it properly. But I agree, right, that there's an advantage to the computer technology where you can have all of the data stored perpetually for everyone to look at whenever they want.
In public on a blockchain, or just for you to verify with like a QR code that only your account can scan and read to verify that your vote is being tallied as you said it, and then it's kind of up to you to verify your own vote. But at least there's a public available database where you can do that.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.